Hi everyone, Aiden here with etrailer.com. Today we're taking a look at the CURT Premium 4-bike rack on our 2020 Nissan Rogue Sport. The CURT Premium is a hanging style rack, which means it hangs the bike by the frame here. We've got it secured with 2 straps over the top holding it in these cradles, and a 3rd strap around our seat post limiting our side-to-side movement and helping out with bike-to-bike contact. Now it's not perfect, it doesn't totally eliminate that side-to-side movement, but it does help reduce it. With this being a hanging style rack, we do want to avoid carbon frame bikes because we don't want to hang the bike by the frame there, it could damage it. And with alternative frame bikes, we do probably need to pick up a bike adapter bar to ensure that it hangs level and properly on the bike rack. With kids bikes though, this bike rack is actually designed with a pretty unique feature, having these arms narrow together at the end. This is going to make it more friendly for those kids bikes and fitting on those smaller frame sizes, so you might not need a bike adapter bar for those right out of the box. Just keep in mind that it isn't a perfect system and you still may need it depending on the size of the bike, but it is designed to help. With this being the 4-bike rack, we can hold up to 180 pounds total. There is a 5-bike version of this that'll add a 3rd set of kids cradles and be able to hold up to 225 pounds. So whichever one you go with, just keep those measurements in mind and load it up safely. Now we can get the bike unloaded and check out some of the other features. To do that, just pull these straps off of the tabs here. Pretty simple. You can do that for all 3. And then just lift the bike up and away. Now when you're doing this, you might have to kind of shimmy the bike back and forth depending on how large that frame size is and how well it fits. I'm going to set this to the side real quick. And we can check out the tilting feature of the bike rack. I always like to replace these straps first, just so they're out of the way and not freely moving around. And then to tilt it, we'll come to the bottom. We've got a couple different points of contact. We've got a hand knob at the bottom that'll loosen, a pin and clip that I can pull out, and then a pull pin right here to release it as the final stage. Then we can open up the hatch of our vehicle, get anything out of the back that we need to, or just have a place to sit and change our shoes before or after a ride, whatever it is we need to do without having to fully remove the bike rack from the hitch. Now you do want to remove the bikes from the bike rack because with how far this tilts down, those bikes probably will make contact with the ground, and it's just not going to be able to safely do that. To tilt it back up, just do all those same steps in reverse. It is a lot of different points of contact back here to tilt it, which can be a bit annoying, but the reason it's doing that is because it is motorhome certified, and all these different points help stabilize the bike rack at this pivot point. So when I tighten this down, you can see there's not really any movement in this upright portion here. Even though it is a moving part, it's pretty stable and secure. So that's just one thing. It's designed to be used in that context. So for your vehicle, it's just going to be a few more things you got to do. For some measurements, it does stick out from the vehicle, the outermost point, adding about 35.5 inches. So that's not too bad, especially for carrying 4 bikes. Keep in mind that 5-bike version will stick out a bit more. We can fold those arms down though. We've got a pin and retaining clip up top. Fold the arms down and re-secure it. So if we have our bikes unloaded, but we want to leave the bike rack in the hitch between rides so it's ready to go for next time, we can. And in this state, it's only going to be sticking out about 11 inches to that outermost point down at the bottom here. So that's a lot better. Ground clearance here is going to be 10 1/4 of an inch, almost 10.5 inches. So that's pretty good. Keep in mind when you add your bikes, that will probably change the ground clearance a bit because you're adding stuff to the back. And depending on the size of your bikes, it might hang down a bit lower. Just really depends on your bikes. Down at the hitch, it's working with our 2" by 2" receiver tube and comes with an anti-rattle bolt. That's going to keep things solid and secure in the hitch. I'd always recommend upgrading to a locking anti-rattle bolt to keep things locked up in the hitch. And then of course pairing that up with a cable lock. There is a loop in the back of the upright here where we can add a cable lock, securing our bikes to the bike rack, and pair it up with that locking hitch pin, securing our bike rack to the vehicle. And I'd say if you're looking at a great way to transport up to 4 bikes or even 5 on a budget and in a way that's going to be friendly for kids' bikes, this is a great route to go. If you don't need to worry about kids' bikes, maybe check out something like the Thule Hitching Post Pro. But for me, I like the CURT Premium a bit better, and I think it's going to be a really good fit for the Nissan Rogue Sport here. Thanks for watching.
Here it is on our test course. We'll start by going through the slalom. This is going to show us the side-to-side action, which simulates turning corners or evasive maneuvers. Next, we're at the alternating speed bumps, which we'll see the twisting action. This will simulate hitting a curb or pothole or driving over uneven pavement. Finally, we have the full speed bumps, where we'll see the up and down action, which is just like driving out of a parking lot, garage, or driveway.